Okay, so now I am going to make creamy coconut chicken curry. It says with cauliflower rice, but it won't actually have cauliflower rice because my um, customer doesn't, or my client doesn't eat cauliflower. So again, FODMAPPing this one. Start. So the cauliflower, I'm not doing the cauliflower. So I'm actually just going to come down here, scroll down. What if you were doing the cauliflower rice, basically you chop it all up and then you put it in the varoma. Okay. So so I'm going to set this as my current step. So I've just flipped through a few of those steps. Hope you can see that okay. All right, ginger. Got some ginger here. Oh, the other thing I should say is I didn't wash the bowl after the tandoori paste. Now, normally I would in this situation, but we're FODMAPPing, and normally where there would be a wedged onion that goes in there and we use high heat. Well, I'm just going to use the green of spring onions, and there's not going to be enough volume in there for the high heat. So I'm going to do a little bit of adapting. So no garlic clove, obviously, because we're FODMAPPing. The chilies, the little baby green chilies going in. And then this is what I'm doing for my onions. Now, normally you wouldn't put the onions in here, and they do need to be in wedges for the high heat. But as I'm not doing the high heat, my onions are going in. All right, I haven't got the garlic, I've got that. And basically it's going to chop it up. The reason I haven't washed it is because I'm not going to do the high heat. Chop. Just touching the screen stops the noise. All right. There's a couple of bits that are... All right, I'll just show you. It's always a bit tricky with spring onions. There are a couple of bits there that just need to be chopped again. So all I'm going to do is I can repeat the step. See, there's a little thing down here that says repeat. Scrape down the sides. Okay. All right. Oops, chucking stuff around here. There we go. That's looking better. Scrape up what I've thrown on the bench. Okay, next. This is where you put your onions and your olive oil. Well, I'm not doing the onion, but they should be in wedges. But I'm going to use a little bit of that garlic oil because remember I didn't put garlic in. There we go. But I love the little thing going across. Ping! But I'm not going to do this high heat, okay? That is the high heat. So I'm going to skip that. But what I'm going to do is come back out of here. I'm going to go to the manual settings, and I'm just going to do a couple of minutes. We'll just go 90 degrees. The lid on. Probably should put 5, shouldn't I? Add that, add that, add that. And speed, I'll just do 2. All right. So that is the way that you can adapt your recipes. As I said, it's really important when you're using high heat that you do have your onion in wedges. Don't ask me how this intelligent machine will know if it's not. And if everything's too finely chopped, then it won't actually allow you to do the high heat either. So you just got to, it's easily adaptable. You just got to have a little bit of a think about it, okay? You don't want to burn the bottom of your bowl or anything by using something that's too finely chopped when it shouldn't be. All right, so we just got to wait for this to happen, which won't actually take too long. See, it'll take 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So what else on on FODMAPs. Yeah, you just got to be really mindful of people. So it's usually, they're usually fine with the green of leek. If I had leeks, I would have used the green of leek in there. That was the spring onions, the green of the spring onions. They usually can't have apples. They can't have pears. There may be other things. I've just looked at this bench. I've got to actually wipe it because there's turmeric and all of that. This one. So it's just really understanding that, and this is the flexibility of a Thermomix, because we can make that adaptation. I was actually talking, well, I was with this client yesterday who can't have FODMAPs, and she'd had a long session with the dentist, and all, you know, I just needed to get her home. And I'm going, look, normally I make everything for her. Doesn't mean to say she doesn't buy other stuff, but if I was making a soup, you know, if she was having a soup, I would make it. Well, we didn't have time yesterday. It was absolutely flat out. So we went to the supermarket and we had a look around there, and you know, you can get a tin of soup for, I don't know, a couple of dollars. FODMAP soup in the health section is $8. So this lovely lady is on a pension. She can't afford to pay $8 for a bowl of soup. And normally, of course, as I said, I would be making it, and we make it with, you know, whatever fresh ingredients we can get. It could be, there's a really good mixed blended vegetable soup where you just chuck anything you've got to use up in your fridge, chuck it in there, and that is really delicious. So we do that sort of thing, or I make her a chicken soup or whatever. But anyone with dietary requirements will know it can be super expensive. If you want to go and buy gluten-free bread, it's $10 for a loaf. You know, which is ridiculous compared to normal prices. Anything, oh, and the other thing was, so things like yogurt, we went to get her some, what do you call it? A lactose-free yogurt yesterday, and most of it was out of stock. The only one they had was one that she actually doesn't like. So, you know, when you do have something, an amazing machine like this that lets you adapt, you can save money. You really can save money. And I know people go, oh, you know, it's a lot of money. But we have this offer, this TM for you, where you can earn one with 4 sales in 90 days. And even if you don't do the four sales, you get discounted by whatever number of sales you do make. And if you don't want to stay for the 90 days, you don't have to, and you definitely don't need to stay for any longer than that. Obviously, we'd love you. I've been around for 10 years and I love it. I love the interaction I have with people. I love the fact that I can do this for people. I can make them food that they can enjoy, which they can eat at a fraction of the cost. I love the friends I've made. I love the fact that I'm going to Fiji next week with Thermomix. You know, free trip for, it's 4 days really, but we're staying an extra couple of days, which you can do with, you know, I've earned it as one of the top consultants. So, you know, and great friends. I've got some really good friends out of this, and people I would never have met. Just, you know, I know. One of the friends I'm going with, there's 3 of us who are staying on together. And one of them's 10 years younger than me, and one of them's 19 years younger than me. And we all get on, we all have you know, get on like a house on fire, because we have similar interests in the food, in the helping other people, having fun. So there are so many reasons to become a consultant, but I don't know. It's just great. I've had a ball the last 10 years. I have earned so many incentives. Anyway, I could go on forever, but let's keep going with our recipe. Okay, so now I'm going to get out of the manual mode, and I can actually, this little line at the top in the middle here, I can tap on that, and that's going to bring me back into my recipe. So take this off. And I'm going to tear the scales there. Now it says with the tandoori paste, 90 grams. Well, I actually had tandoori paste left in there, as I said, so I might not put the full 90 in. But the other thing, what I often do with the tandoori paste is actually freeze it in 90-gram lots and just pull it out when I need it. 90 grams, so I'm not going to put quite 90 grams in. Oh, a little bit more than that. She does. Oh, I'll tell you what, this tandoori paste is so delicious. Look at the color of it. It's just beautiful. All right, tomato paste. Need some more of this. Oops, there we go. Bit over. Water. Whoops. Yeah, that'll do. Almond meal I'm not doing because she can't have almonds. Okay, that's just to thicken anyway. The chicken thigh fillets. So I have just chopped them up here. They're going in. They may be a little on the small side. We'll see how we go. If they get shredded, not really fussed because she's not really fussed. But if you do come across that and you're finding that your meat is getting shredded when it's cooking, then just put bigger chunks in. Salt. Okay, now this says put the varoma with the cauliflower rice in position. We're not doing the cauliflower rice, so I'm just going to pop the lid on. Like that. Next. And that's going to steam. So you can see this little steam cloud here, hopefully. That's the steaming. So if I just pop out of here a second, you can see there's the steaming function. It's not under manual, it's under steaming. Anyway, go back in here, back down to our thing. 8 minutes. Then after that, actually I can put this on for longer. 8 minutes, then it's stirring, and then it's another 4 minutes. So I could actually come back in here and I am going to add a minute, a minute, a minute, a minute. So it's going to do that whole thing in, because I don't have to stir the cauliflower, and that's all you do in that step. And then do you do another little steam section. So I've just put it all into one time frame. And then after that, all I'm going to do is literally add a little bit of coconut cream, and that's just going to stir around. So let's go out of that. Yeah, here we go. So it's still there. Scroll down here, stir the cauliflower, prolong the time if you need to. So we've got 4 minutes of cooking there. Remove the cauliflower, add the coconut cream and stir with the spatula. Cook without the lid for 3 minutes. So that is one of the things that you can do with the TM7. You can cook without the lid. And that's mainly used in dishes with rice or with pasta, but it is also used in this one too. So I might just pause this and we'll come back to that when okay, so it's done all that cooking. Remember, I combined the two lots. So I'm going to go next. This is stir the cauliflower. We don't need to do that because I added this cooking time onto the first lot of cooking time. Skip that. Remove the varoma. We're not doing the cauliflower. Next. Okay. So all I'm doing is adding coconut cream. And again, I often freeze this when I've got leftovers. A bit more. That's okay. Next, stir with a spatula. Okay. Then cook without the lid for 3 minutes. So you can see no lid on, doing its own thing here for 3 minutes. So then it will be done. As I said, a lot of recipes that have the no lid are rice or pasta dishes, and often that's just used at the end. When that's done, divide the cauliflower, which we're not doing. There you are, there's a final picture. I am going to be freezing mine, well, dividing it up. I've got two. I found these in the supermarket. These are small Pyrex dishes. So they're not, I mean, if you've got a takeaway container, obviously use a takeaway container rather than throwing it out. but I try to be a little bit more sustainable. And for this lovely lady, I actually bought her two, don't tell my husband. I bought her two of these so that we can actually put food in here and freeze it. So it's just her. So one lot of this would do her for, 2 or 3 meals. So the other one will just pop in the freezer. And that is it. But you can see beautiful TM7 doing its own little cooking thing. It's actually bubbling away in there. Let me just show you with this one. Bubbling away in there. And it has 1:43 to go of bubbling. But I'm going to finish up there. See ya.